Good morning. Welcome to the 2024 Culture and Strategies Forum for the Korean Peninsula and the North. Thank you very much for your participation. I will be leading you throughout the opening ceremony. I am Chung Gi-ung and I am the vice head of the HK+ project agency. Before we begin, allow me to introduce to you today's agenda. As you see in the proceedings, from 10 to 10:30, we have the opening ceremony. And we would like to ask you to be seated in your designated seats. And after the keynote speech, we will then participate in a commemorative photo session. The commemorative photo session will happen in 4 rounds. First, we will be inviting the VIPs, and then second, we will be participating with the project agency, and then we will have the participants from UNESCO. And for the final round, we will have everyone participating in the photo session. And after the photo session, we would like to ask our speakers to be seated in the designated seats. We will have the first session concerning the diplomatic roundtable, followed by a short congratulatory performance, and that will be followed by lunch. And if you have asked for halal meals, we have marked that on your name cards. And if it has not been marked as halal, but if you would like to have halal meal, please let us know. After a short break, we will resume for session 2, strategic dialogue, in the afternoon. After the strategic dialogue, we will have a 30-minute coffee break, followed by the UNESCO dialogue for cultural heritage cooperation, followed by the closing ceremony as well as the last performance. Allow me to provide you with a few housekeeping remarks. We have live streaming on YouTube, and we have simultaneous interpretation into Korean, English, and Russian. Channel 1 is for Korean, Channel 2 is for English, and Channel 3 is for Russian. According to our proceedings, we would now like to invite President Kang Gyun-young of the KH+ project agency of HUFS. Let us invite him with a big round of applause.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Kang Jun-young, and I am the head of the HK+ National Strategies Research Project Agency at the Center for International Area Studies at Hankuk University of Foreign Studies. In May 2020, our agency was selected as the agency for the Humanities Korea Plus project, or HK+ project, and our agency has made great strides in expanding transnational cooperation and communication with northern regions under the agenda of searching for the supranational cooperation and communication, identifying the contacts with northern culture, and building a cultural hub for the creation of unification-friendly circumstances. And on April 8, 2021, the first Culture and Strategies Forum for the Korean Peninsula and the North started, and now we're celebrating the 4th anniversary. And this forum has been a significant platform to promote discussions among government officials, diplomats, scholars, business leaders, artists, and related experts from multiple areas. And the theme of the 4th forum is Facing the New Era, Seeking Supranational Solidarity in the Return of Great Power Competition. This theme reflects an attempt to explore the path we must take in today's world, filled with complexity and uncertainty, where it is difficult to predict even the near future. At this very moment, we witness various armed conflicts and economic disputes occurring around the globe, and it underscores the importance of geopolitical and geoeconomic considerations and strategic choices. Therefore, we need to have a deeper discussion about what our strategy should be based on. This forum has the participation of various experts, and it will provide a critical opportunity for in-depth discussions on the cultural and strategic relationships between Korea and the northern region, as well as on our future cooperation. and we're deeply honored to have the co-hosting of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Korea and the UNESCO HK+. I sincerely hope that today's Culture and Strategies Forum will be a significant step towards fostering cooperation and communication between our two regions and ultimately contributing to world peace. And there are several individuals and organizations I need to express my gratitude. First, I'd like to express my gratitude to the Northeast and Central Asia Affairs Bureau of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the UNESCO HK+ for their valuable support in hosting this forum. I would also like to express my gratitude to Dr. Wang Yun-jung, Deputy National Security Advisor, who has agreed to give the keynote speech. I would also like to thank Dr. Han Seok-ki, President of the Institute for National Security Strategy, as well as Ambassador Suhe Sufbald of Mongolia, Ambassador Ramin Hasanov of Azerbaijan, Ambassador Elashad Abdusalamov of Uzbekistan, Ambassador Tarashi Papaskua of Georgia, Ambassador Nurgali Astranov of Kazakhstan, Ambassador Aida Ismailova of the Republic of Kyrgyzstan, Ambassador Kelom Saluhidin of Tajikistan, Ambassador Salid Muhammad Tamer of Turkey, and many other diplomatic mission representatives. I would also like to express my gratitude to the directors of strategic research institutes from Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and many other countries who have traveled afar to participate in the forum. I would also like to thank participation from various organizations. It is unfortunate that today is the Government Affairs Inspection Day for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs at the National Assembly. So even though we have received much support from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, many high-level officials from the ministry are not able to be here because they are currently at the National Assembly for government inspection. And yesterday, our president left to attend meetings with ASEAN leaders. So we have many distinguished leaders from the government who are supposed to be here, and they're not able to attend today because of these reasons. But they delivered their encouraging remarks, and they separately contacted me that they would like to be informed of the results of the discussions that we will have today, so that they will reflect them in their policy making. Finally, I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the participants who have worked tirelessly to prepare for this forum, and now I declare the opening of the forum. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your opening address. Next, we would like to invite Mr. Kim Ji-sung, Director General of UNESCO ICAP, for his remarks of congratulations. Good morning. As I've been introduced, I am Kim Ji-sung, Director General of UNESCO HK+. Thank you very much for this opportunity to join you today. I would like to first take this opportunity to thank all those who have joined the 4th Culture and Strategies Forum for the Korean Peninsula and the North. In particular, thank you to Deputy National Security Advisor Hwang Yun-jung, Head of HK+ Project Agency, Mr. Kang Jun-young, as well as the Vice Head of the agency, Professor Chung Gi-ung, Your Excellencies from 8 Eurasian nations, as well as representatives of the regional research centers and research institutes. Korea and the northern countries have developed political, diplomatic, and cultural cooperative ties despite the large distance between these two regions in the last 3 decades. In particular, the ties between Korea and northern countries have continuously grown based on trust and partnership, and even today, economic cooperation and human exchanges are actively taking place through both the public institutions and private companies. This is in line with the theme of today's forum as well as the values of UNESCO. Based on the Silk Road culture that we have shared together, we have many commonalities in terms of our history and culture. And so UNESCO HK+ continues to look forward to the cultural exchanges between Korea and the North, and we believe that we can focus on the common culture that we share, and we hope that we can discuss this in the third section. The shared cultural heritage between our two regions will play a bridge between our two people so that we can work together for peace and prosperity. I do hope that today's forum serves as an important starting point for that journey. Thank you very much to all those who have made today's forum possible, and I look forward to the most successful forum today. Thank you.
감사합니다, 사무총장님.
Thank you very much.
마지막 순서로
Last but certainly not the least, we would like to invite Mr. Wang Yunjong for his keynote speech.
Good morning, everyone. Director Kang Jun-young, Director General Kim Ji-sung, as well as ambassadors and distinguished guests. I am very happy to be part of this forum where we discuss strategic cooperation between Korea and the northern countries. It is an honor and pleasure for me to give the keynote speech at this auspicious forum. I remember it was November last year. I gave a keynote speech at the forum held in Uzbekistan. And at that time, I remember your warm hospitality and your passion and enthusiasm. So it is my great pleasure to be able to see you again here in Seoul today. We have many directors of strategic institutes. Thank you so much for being here. When I looked at the program, I was able to see that we will have sessions on diplomacy and strategic dialogue and cultural heritage. I won't be able to be here throughout the sessions, but before we discuss specific items of cooperation, I'd like to share with you my thoughts. First of all, we need to acknowledge that we're going through very difficult times. So it is critical to have an accurate understanding of the current situation. We witness intensifying strategic competition among the great powers around the world, which means that we're also witnessing the international order being shaken because of various events and developments. So against this backdrop, we need to understand and discuss why the Republic of Korea need to build solidarity with the northern countries and why we need to join hands and navigate through this current situation together. If countries join hands temporarily only for economic benefits, then such temporary relations may not last very long. And I hope that the Republic of Korea and your countries will build stronger solidarity, and we need to develop specific methodologies and strategies to form stronger relations. Many people are talking about the decline of multilateralism. And many are arguing that we are witnessing the transformation of the international order into a multipolar system. Such an assessment or a statement is rather an accurate understanding of the current situation, but I'd like to add some more color to what is being discussed. When you think about multipolar system and multilateralism, these are two very different phenomena. After the Second World War, multilateralism was formed under the leadership of the US. And on the financial side, the Bretton Woods system was developed with the IMF and World Bank, and for trade, we developed the GATT system. But the multilateral structure led by the US, which was formed after the Second World War, didn't last very long. The world entered into the Cold War with the bipolar system. And many of you may remember that countries formed different coalitions under the Cold War era. But after the collapse of the Soviet Union, the Cold War system was disrupted. And after that, we remember how the World Trade Organization was established, replacing the GATT system. And for the past 30 years, such a globalization trend and global economic development was achieved. And in this process, we benefited from the unipolar system where the US was the ultimate superpower. But looking back at the past 10 years, we also know that there were multipolar systems. You may call this a multipolar system, but I may also call this the multi-order system, which means that when it comes to global orders, we used to have the liberal democracy and the unipolar system or multilateralism promoted by the US, but now we have multiple global orders that exist together at the same time. In this context, Western countries such as the EU and the US that promoted liberal democracy and market economy are called the liberal West countries. But then we also have Russia and China and other countries that are often referred to as the global East. And so we have the global West, the global East, but then we also have the global South, East and Southwest. And I wonder whether we need to call your countries the global North or the global South, or what will be the good name for them. But anyhow, we see that there are multiple national interests that exist under these multipolar system or multi-order system. So there's a mixture of multi-order system and multipolar system and conflicting national interests. Now, at the same time, we are seeing the emergence of frontier technologies such as AI, advanced bio, and quantum technology. They can change the game. These can be game changers. And at the same time, we're seeing increasing trade among interdependent countries. And some countries are trying to weaponize such an interdependence among countries, and they try to apply ideology in such a situation. So they are promoting economic security. Dr. Henry Kissinger, who passed away, is a famous American scholar, and he said that the multipolar system is a historical cycle, which means that no empire would last forever. In our history, we have seen many great empires, but all of them collapsed at some point in our history. No empire lasted forever. The history is usually written by the strong powers, and their narratives are reflected in the world history. And we know how different countries have different national interests, and sometimes small and medium-sized countries are pressured to choose one side or the other. We do not want to be sidelined, but we continue to be under pressure by major powers throughout our history. So While we see these changes in international relations, we need to move beyond the multilateralism centered on great powers. We need to be able to participate as emerging powers and contribute to resolving regional issues and challenges. And to do that, we need to form a new alliance and a new solidarity. And that is exactly what the Republic of Korea is pursuing together with the northern countries. And you may wonder why Korea. You may continue to work with the US or Russia or other countries. And during the UN General Assembly, the US held the C5+1 summit to launch the critical minerals dialogue with Central Asia. And for many years, under the leadership of Xi Jinping, China initiated and pursued the One Belt, One Road initiative to increase connections with Central Asian countries. So China held a summit with 5 Central Asian countries, and they promoted that this is a true multilateralism. So in this way, various major powers are seeking to strengthen relations with the northern countries. Of course, such cooperation is important, but at the same time, I believe that solidarity among smaller and middle power countries is essential, which would include Korea. Korea and Central Asia are long-standing neighbors, and we share culture, history, and values, and we have made great achievements in many different fields for the past decades. So we need to expand our cooperation. Cooperation in economic and social areas is important, but at the same time, we need to promote cooperation for people-to-people exchanges and promote cooperation in such critical areas as health, environment, and education. And we need to nurture and foster our common heritage and history, and that is why we have the UNESCO here at this forum. In June, President Yoon Suk-yeol visited 3 countries in Central Asia, and he announced the K-Silk Road Initiative. And I'd like to give you a short summary of the K-Silk Road Initiative. This is one of the comprehensive diplomatic strategies of Korea, including the Indo-Pacific Strategy and the ASEAN ROC Solidarity Initiative. So along with these initiatives, the K-Silk Road Initiative is an important pillar in expanding Korea's diplomatic realm. This is about the K-Silk Road Initiative is about promoting freedom, peace, and prosperity of the world. Korea has built a defended and liberal democratic country, so Korea intends to pursue a free international society together with Central Asia. And so we will promote and strengthen a rules-based order based on the universal values of democracy and the rule of law. Second, we will contribute to regional peace by reaffirming the UN's principles of pursuing peace and promoting a rules-based international order in which international law and norms are observed. Third, we will enhance the connectivity and complementarity of the cooperation agenda to help create future growth engines for both sides for mutual prosperity and development. In addition, we will actively work together to respond to global challenges such as climate change, supply chain issues, and digital divide. And so we will promote active cultural exchanges with Central Asia. Now, moving on to the principles of cooperation, there are 3 of them: working together, fusion, and creation. For the past 30 years, Korea has built trust and ties with Central Asia, and we will move forward together into the future. We will share our economic development experience, expand mutually beneficial cooperation, and further deepen ties by promoting people-to-people and cultural exchanges. And in this process, the national interests of each country may not be perfectly aligned, and in some cases there may be differences. However, we need to take advantage of these differences. So, the first principle of working together for cooperation demonstrates our commitment to respecting each other's national interests and find a way forward together despite the instability of the environment and the uncertainty of the future. Second, Korea wishes to integrate each other's capabilities and strengths of Central Asia. So we know that we have different competitive advantage, so we would like to utilize them. Korea has cutting-edge science and technology and digital capabilities, and Central Asia has abundant resources and geopolitical advantages, so we need to utilize them to create synergies. So the convergence is the principle of cooperation, and it is also something that we need to address today's complex problems. It provides a skill set that we can utilize. Recently, high-tech and digital industries such as semiconductors, batteries, AI, and quantum, these frontier technologies are expanding rapidly. So we see the convergence of industry, technology, and supply chains. This is indeed a very challenging situation. So in addressing such challenge, we cannot do so with a simple set of skills. We need to be able to converge different skills and advantages and resources. And the third principle of cooperation is creativity. We know that the Silk Road in the past facilitated civilization and cultural exchanges, and the Silk Road contributed to the creation of rich human heritage. Now it is time to link the innovation capabilities and potentials of Korea and Central Asia to create a Eurasian cooperation model of creativity and innovation. The K-Silk Road initiative will be a milestone in taking Korea's partnership with Central Asia to next levels. We look forward to developing detailed initiatives for cooperation and implement them in the future so that we can contribute to freedom, peace, and prosperity together. I understand that there will be many insights and ideas shared at the forum. I hope that these ideas and insights will contribute to strengthening the implementation of the K-Silk Road initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, when I visited Uzbekistan last year, it was very cold. The temperature dropped down to minus 17 degrees Celsius, and there was heavy rain, heavy snow of 30 centimeters. It was beautiful, but it was very cold. But now, the weather in Korea continues to be warm and nice. When I was in Uzbekistan, I was rather confined to the hotel, but I hope that you will be able to enjoy the beautiful autumn weather of Korea when you stay here. There will be frost at the end of this fall, and the taste of kimchi, our traditional food, kimchi, depends very much on this frost because cabbages grown while enduring autumn frosts are filled and they taste better. I hope that the relationship between Korea and Central Asia will overcome the global challenges like autumn frosts together and bear abundant fruits filled with cabbages so that they will turn into delicious kimchi. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Advisor. We very much look forward to facing the autumn frost together so that we can bear fruit with our cooperation. As you can see in our program, working together and solidarity are the priority agendas for today. This brings us to the end of the opening ceremony. We will continue with the commemorative photo session. As I've mentioned before, there will be 4 rounds. We would like to invite the head table to the podium first.
The first session would be taken here. All the participants of the first session, please be seated.